Hello everyone, this is Mohan Raghavan. In today's video we are going to see arrow function expression. In previous video we have seen how to create the function expression. This is another way of creating the function expression, but it will be very compact and concise code, which will be using the arrow operator. An arrow operator is nothing but the equal symbol and the angle bracket as shown in the figure. Arrow function does not have any special kind of definition other than the normal traditional functional expression. The only definition you can get about the arrow function is it is the another way of creating the function expression, but it will be the very compact and concise code. And it has some limitations such as like you cannot use the super keyword, this keyword, arguments, call methods, apply methods. However, we have not seen this topic so far, so we can just keep it away. We will see it later. So in this video we are going to understand what is arrow function, how it looks like, how to create the arrow function in case if you have the multiple arguments, in case if you don't have arguments, in case if you have a single argument, in case you have a multiple statement, in case you have a single statement in the implementation. So these are the different combinations that we are going to see in the arrow function. Before starting the arrow function, we will understand how the simple function expression looks like. Here you can see the example simple function expression, which will take two arguments, first name and last name, and checks both are type of string. If it is, then it will return some console string. Otherwise it will return the error message saying that wrong inputs are not the type of string. So if you analyze this function expression, you can clearly understand it is the function expression because we are not using the function name. We are creating the function expression and assigning to the variable. And you can notice here there are two arguments, first name and last name, and it has the curly braces which makes or which encloses the function implementation. And you can see there are multiple lines inside the function implementation, and it has the return statement. So these are the notification you can see when you just analyze this function. Let's say if you want to just convert this into the arrow function, what you will be doing is like you will be doing something like this. So you will be having same kind of output here or same kind of code, but you will be having the arrow operator between the parentheses and the starting of the implementation of method or the function, and you will not have the keyword called function. By seeing this arrow operator, you will understand this is the function expression and type of arrow type. But when you compare this previous one and the current one, you may not notice the significant change or compactness in the code wise. Why? Because you have only the differences. You have the arrow operator here and you don't have the function keyword. That may be the only difference you can find here. Yes, you are correct. That is the only difference you can see here. But this arrow function will be very useful in case if you have, let's say, a single statement and let's say you have a single argument. Some places you will be using callback function. We will see callback function what it is, but some places you need to pass the function. One way is to you can create the function and you can pass it. Other way you can directly write the function. Such as like we have seen the anonymous function yesterday, right? So you can create the function there itself and you can pass it directly. So those kind of scenarios you might be using the arrow function. But the special part about the arrow function is arrow function does not read the return statement and curly braces if only one statement. For example, rather than having a different validation here type of string or not, I am sure that it is the type of string, so I can directly write the implementation here. So it is just concatenating the first name and last name and the welcome string. Since it's only a single statement, I don't need to write the curly braces, I don't need to write the return statement. Directly I can just mention the arguments in the parentheses and the let's say arrow operator, and I will be having the statement that has to be returned. So here implicitly the return statement will be written, implicitly the curly braces will be taken care. So this is the functionality when it comes with the arrow function. Let's say since you have here two arguments, you are having the parentheses. Let's say if you have only one argument, even you don't need the parentheses. Directly you can write the parentheses, or let's say directly you can write the argument name and you can just make the manipulation inside your code. Since it's having only one statement, even you don't need the curly braces, even you don't need the return statement. Something directly you can write like this. So this will reduce a lot of code when compared to the traditional functional expression. There are scenarios where you don't have even a single argument. So in that scenario you will just write the double parenthesis, open parenthesis and close parenthesis, arrow operator and the implementation. But let's say in some scenarios if you have the multiple lines in the arrow function, those scenario you need to use the curly braces when you have the multiple lines inside the implementation of the method. So by analyzing this code, you can clearly see the first one normal expression, it will print welcome, sorry, hi Ajit Jain, welcome. It is the same implementation by using the arrow operator. So it also will be having the hi Mukundan Raghavan, welcome. But in this scenario, you will be having same implementation. Why? Because we are using the arrow operator and we are using the we are not just we have removed the return statement also. Why? Because it has the only one statement, and it will be mentioning like hi David Billa, welcome. And here you can see it has only one argument, so I am using only one argument inside our, let's say, the implementation of the function. So hi Kalam, welcome. Here even you don't have a single argument also, so in that scenario it will be just displaying the bye and see you soon. So here you can see it is just like a previous session summary, so you can use that, let's say, assignment or variable name and followed by the parenthesis just to make that as a function call. We'll execute this and we will see what are the outputs here. Yes, as expected we are getting the same output even for the normal function expression hi Ajit Jain, welcome. Even for converted arrow operator, so those also we are getting like a hi Mukundan Raghavan, welcome. And we have just have a simplified form, there also we are getting the same output, and other form also we are getting the same output, and last one without any arguments, even for that also we are getting the same output. So in this way we have understood how the arrow function will be built and what are the different scenarios that we can build the arrow function. When you just connect the dots, when we see about the super keyword, this keyword, callback function, this arrow function plays a major role. Even in arrays we will have the method called for each. So for each will have one function to be one function as an argument. So in that scenario you are not going to write a function separately and that function you are not going to pass it to the method. You will be directly writing the, let's say, callback function there itself. So those scenario will be useful, or those scenario will make sense when you just know about the arrow function now itself. So this is all about the arrow function basics. So thanks for watching and have a great day.